had this guy in my comments say,
I never seen a Gen-Xer make videos like a Millennial. I'm thinking to myself, is this a slam or a compliment? Was he trying to put down the old guy? Or was he merely comparing my style to a much younger person's? As to say, people in their 40s and 50s basically make fuddy-duddy content.
wait, did I just age myself with that stupid term? Fuddy-duddy?
To do anything exceptional in this life, you have to rise above the naysayers, the haters, and truly live in freedom to fight for what you believe in. It's an understatement.
Now here is something you can really feel. I'm just a man, I too have my Achilles heel. Fat beats, no blemish, stainless steel. Cold snap makes this all fat congeal. Warm it up and the consistency returns. Subpar raps, they make my guts turn. My people haven't got that kind of money to burn.
These are my stories, these are my films.
Maybe I was blind,
Okay.
scared of the lonely. Maybe I just needed someone to hold me.
I have to admit, I do see a lot of gray-haired people's videos that are not that fun and quite boring with bad music. I started making short films in the late 90s with a camcorder and editing them on a VHS analog machine. So I really don't know where or who my influences were. But I do have to say, it's hard not to be influenced by the OGs of YouTube. You know that crazy excitement when you would watch one of Casey's videos? That shit was fire, as the kids say.
I've always been a kid at heart, never really wanted to grow up. I was 23, living in Squaw Valley.
I worked at this restaurant at the base of the ski resort. Skiers would flood in, sit down and eat. Fat stuffed omelets with bomb-ass country potatoes. I was one of the cooks making breakfast dishes. Once the mad rush was over, we were free to go riding.
So that day was extremely intense. It had snowed about 4 to 6 feet the previous night. We knew where to find the fresh, untracked lines. I was in snorkel bliss until I went over the bars, flipped on top of an unexposed rock, and broke a bone off my vertebrae. Lying in the snow with insane, stupid pain as my buddy was calling over the ski patrol. I couldn't even talk, I was in so much pain. So I was in the hospital laying on my stomach because my back was so filled with pus. You couldn't tell where my ass and my back was separated. So I can remember the doctor walking over to my bed and looking at me in this sort of shameful, disgusted look. And he says to me, "Aren't you too old to be writing these things?" And at the time I'm thinking, I was 23 fucking years old. And he's telling me, you're too old to be riding these things, too old to be snowboarding. Doesn't make any sense. If I was 80 years old, laying on my stomach with a broken back, it still wouldn't make sense to me.
I bump it.
There's always going to be gatekeepers, man, telling you you're too old, you're too young, you're too this. These people want to shove everything into a box because they don't understand and they themselves are not truly living. I fought against these kind of people my whole life. I mean, as a teen in the 80s, being a punk rock kid, you were hated by everybody. And when I started snowboarding as well in the late 80s, at the time only a handful of ski resorts even allowed snowboarding. You were the scourge of the mountain. Skiers would come by and spit at you. I can remember my own brother would be like, "You fucking punker." Monuments and statues were made for the brave, those that have ignored the gatekeepers.